What's up, everybody? Rob Barrington here, bringing you exciting happenings in the bridge world. And that is what you're looking at right to my left here, Bridge War. BridgeWar.com is where we are going to start our bridge journey, folks. The question I get the most often when I'm teaching and or playing bridge around the world is, how do I get my bridge curious friends into the game? I have good friends that like to play cards, or I have friends that have never touched a deck of cards. How do I start them off? Here's your answer, folks. And this is the start of a 5 video series. I'm calling it calling first of all the summer of 2025, the summer of bridge, or any version of bridge that you want to play. And we're going to throw a bunch of versions at you. We're going to give you ways to compete in those versions, and then we're going to bring it all together and hopefully have a wonderful new and exciting community of card players and bridge curious folks. And I have to tell you, I've been playing the game forever, and this is the most exciting and the easiest time to learn this game and get quite good at it. We're going to show you not only this program, but give you a lot of ways to learn about this game and continue your journey with us. So let's start with a look at bridgewar.com. And it's exactly like it sounds, folks. We like to be very simple. It's bridge and war combined, right? War is probably, you've heard of it, the most simple trick-taking game. You play a card face up. If it's higher than your opponent's card, you win, and you do that a bunch of times. Bridge, very complicated. We're going to put them together. We're going to start here, and we're going to build to many versions of the game that are going to give you endless hours of fun. So okay, folks, we are at the homepage of Bridge War, which is the address you're seeing at the bottom of your screen, www.bridgewar.com. Bridge and War together. Here's how it works. You scroll down just a bit. If you have a longer view of a screen, you might see this all on one page. Here are the 4 options you're going to see at the very top. Enter Battlefield, we're going to click that button in just a moment. That is where we're going to just start playing the game. And I'm going to give you a few tips on that and also show you how it's going to work functionality wise. Warrior's Guide is simply a how to play, and this is in written format. It'll teach you the rules of the game and show you how this is done each time you're going to play. Combat Training gives you some practice duels, really good first step for your journey here. And Battle at Home is just a really simple instruction pamphlet on how to set this up at home with a deck of cards and a couple of your good friends. So let's jump into the battlefield, and I'm going to show you how this is going to work. So I'm going to click play now.
All right,
And
so
we've clicked on Let's Battle, and we're looking at versions of the game that are going to be choices each time. And each version of the game is going to add a little piece of strategy to the game you already know. So it's a really good way to not only practice some regular card play at the beginning, but also incrementally add some skill sets to you until you're playing the full card play version of Bridge, which is basically Bridge Extreme. That's going to be the version of Bridge we're really going to crank on. We're going to play a lot of competitions live and online and in person, we hope. And if we get through these 4 videos or 5 videos, we will have a really good understanding of not just the card play from both sides of the table, offensive, defense, but also how fun and how many amazing decisions we get to make and also maybe miss, but have a chance to get right the next time. It's a great game. Let's start our battle. Let's dance. Play battle 1 of 4. And we're playing the basic version of Bridge War, which is essentially just a race to 7 tricks. There are 13 tricks in every bridge hand, and that's because we have a 52 card deck that we deal out completely to the 4 players at the table. So each player will have 13 cards. And some of you out there are going, what the heck's a trick, Rob? Well, I'm going to tell you that in just a second, but let me just show you what a bridge hand looks like and a bridge table looks like. It is always a 2 versus 2 game, even though we can play with 3 players, especially with these versions we're going to teach you. But it's 2 versus 2 usually, and that's because you have a partner across from you and you have 2 opponents to your other side. So as we are sitting at this table, I'm the bridge teacher on the bottom there. My name's cut off there, but I'm sitting in the south chair. And in the north chair, my partner is over there, Luther. We are partners, and our opponents are sitting west and east. We see Oza, the Ogre, I believe, and Pyra Phoenix. They are playing as our opponents. So they are a pair together. We are a pair together. And the recipe for success is take 7 tricks before they do. 13 tricks. 7 is just a bit over half. 6.5 is our halfway point, but there are no half tricks. Each one trick out of 13 is going to go to one side or the other. So let me show you what a trick is. A trick always looks exactly the same. One player decides to put a card face up on the table, and that is what's called the lead. So in this version of the game, at the very start, the West player, Oza there, has chosen to lead this Jack of Clubs. And we are looking at this from the perspective of the declarer, meaning we, as the person in the south chair, dealt this hand out, which in this version of the game means we are the ones that are going to be in control of both of our sides' hands. And that is because once this Jack of Clubs is led, that player over there, the north player, puts their entire hand face up on the table. That's the way bridge is always played. Some of you may have heard your parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews talk about the dummy. That is what the dummy is called. It's the north player's hand. That hand is face up on the table, and it is shared information for everybody, not just us, the south player, although we get to control every card in that hand. The opponents get to see every card in that hand. So each player at the table has imperfect information, but they have two hands to look at, right? The dummy hand and their own. So that is the beauty of the game. We always have one hand that's face up, and each side is trying to figure out, okay, how the heck do I get 7 tricks before they do? And take a moment to recognize that this Jack of Clubs means one other thing. We have to all play a card to this trick. So the lead was the Jack of Clubs. Every player clockwise around the table has to now play a card to this trick. The only rule is you have to follow that suit. So the club is led, you have to play a club if you have one. If you do not have a club in your hand, you can literally play anything you want. But if you have a club, you have to do what's called follow suit. You cannot throw anything. So on this Jack of Clubs play, the North player has 3 choices: the ace, the 7, or the 5. I'm going to play the 5. And don't worry, folks, we're going to get to a whole bunch of card play strategy in future videos. This is just an introduction. And I'm going to win now, or I'm going to play my Queen of Clubs. And I want to show you in this spot, look at what is happening here. The Jack of Clubs was the opening lead. Every player clockwise in sequence. We don't all play at the same time. North plays first, then East plays, and then South plays. So in turn around the table, the 5 of clubs gets played from the dummy hand. We chose that, by the way. Dummy doesn't do anything. They get the table drinks or snacks, right? So the dummy's just sitting there looking nice and relaxing, while in the south, my hand takes control of both hands. So here's what a trick is. Each player plays one card and only one card to the trick. They get one shot at it, and it goes clockwise around the table. The highest card played to the trick wins the trick. And that means we played the queen to that trick. We won it, which means we get to lead next. And we get to lead whatever the heck we want from our hand. Now let's take a moment and think about what's going on here. First off, if you haven't ever seen cards before, I would recommend you take a look at the rules as well to give you a little bit of an explanation more in depth of how tricks work. But essentially, the lowest card in each suit is the 2, and the highest card in each suit is the ace. And the rule is whoever plays the highest card to the suit that was originally led will win the trick, and then we'll choose what to lead next. So based on that information, folks, can you see other tricks that we can take as the North and South players, right? I am the South player. In fact, your guys are playing along with me. So we can see our hand, and everybody at the table can see the North hand. How many other tricks could we win? Meaning we lead and we win the suit or win the trick. You should see at least a few. The ace and king of diamonds. Those are 2 tricks because we can see both of them, right? We could lead the king and know that no one could play the ace because we have the ace, right? And remember, everyone gets 1 card per turn, and there's only one of each of these cards in the deck, right? One deck game, not going to mess up with anything else there. So we have won the trick, this last trick, with the queen of clubs in our hand. Now what do we do next? Well, we're trying to take winners. So here, I'm actually going to play a heart to that king over there. Notice I won the queen in the south hand. I have to lead the next card from the south hand. So I'm choosing hearts not only because I have a lot of those good cards in that suit, but I have quite a few of them in my hand. So here I'm going to take my nice king of hearts. And now the question is, well, what the heck am I going to do now? Well, I'm not sure. We have a lot of things we can do here. I can try to set up some diamond tricks. That might work out nicely for us. But also I can play some clubs. Maybe that will work out for us. I'm not sure. But the whole point is all I'm trying to do is scrabble together 7 tricks before my opponents do. So let's see if I can maybe try something to do that. And again, don't worry about anything that I'm doing. I will explain all of these strategies and best practices. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And let me show you something else that's amazing. I actually kind of fumbled with my mouse here and did not mean to play a club. I meant to play the 6 of hearts, but I kind of clicked incorrectly. So I have this little undo button on the bottom. Beautiful stuff. I get to go back. I get to play the card I really wanted to play, and now I'm safe. Okay. Here, I don't know. I probably would do something else if I were really playing this hand, but I'm just gonna try to get us a win right here from the very start. And ooh, there we go. There's a queen of diamonds. That's nice. Not that that's gonna help us at all, unfortunately. But remember, all I'm trying to do is get to 7. And notice you see where on the lower right hand side of the screen, let me move my screen here. You see that 5/7. That just means that our side has taken 5 out of the 7 we're going to need to win. And I want you to notice we're about to take our last 2. So here we go, folks. And again, I for any of you bridge players watching, I've taken liberties with this hand that I might not have done so in a normal way, but I may have known what was going on here. And here it is, folks. All you have to do is get to 7, and you've achieved victory. And now you can leave. You can go back to home base and quit for the day, or you can go on to the next duel, and I'm going to hop into that. And here we are again. They spit out another duel for you, and once again, your job is to get to 7 tricks or more. In fact, if you get to 7, as you see, the game ends. So let's take a look, folks. It's your turn. I want you to look at this hand and remember the same thing has just happened as will happen every deal. We are going to be the south player. Our hand is going to be the declarer, meaning we're going to control our hand and the north hand at the same time. And the lead has always come from the west player who is sitting there and has chosen this 8 of clubs to lead. Take a look at this deal. And first off, tell me if you think you're going to take 7 tricks, and then tell me what they're going to be. And you can see both hands. And remember, these are both your hands. Your partner is sitting across from you. You're sitting here. In the real version of the game, the declare is going to rotate, right? So if you're playing at home, and there's nice instructions for that on the home page, if you're playing at home, you're just going to deal out 52 cards, and the dealer will be the declarer, right? Here, because it's a nice practice program, you're always the declarer, so you're going to sit back and decide. And I got to tell you, folks, it's going to be an easy run to 7 tricks. We have 4 club tricks. I want you to notice we have the ace, the king, the queen, and the jack, and we have 4 of them in that north hand. We also have 4 spade tricks for the same reason. The jack, the ace, the king, and the queen. Remember, the highest card played to the suit led wins the trick. So here's what that means. Clubs was led. So the highest card in that suit that was led, the king. And now I can see the other 3 highest cards. So all I have to do is lead those tricks. And boom, shakalaka, that is another one. Here is another trick in clubs. Again, we've already counted top winners, and we can do the same thing in spades, folks. Here it comes, Jack of Spades. Notice, as the South player, I know I have the ace, king, and queen, and the jack is in that dummy. So you see what I just did there, folks? I put the Jack of Spades on the table because I know it's going to win. No one can play a higher card because guess who has the higher cards? You're looking at them. You're looking at them in your hand, and that is a beautiful way to just rip off tricks. And I think once we get to 7, notice lower right side. I think we just hit it, folks. It should just go boom. We win 2-0. Yeah, undefeated. Let's dance. All right, let's go to the next duel. And I'm just going to give you a sneak preview of this one. Now, here is the next hand for you. Remember, all of these first battles are going to be about getting to 7 tricks first. Will you do it every time? You will not, right? Some of these hands, you're just going to not be able to get there, or you're going to make a mistake or two that makes you not get there, which is part of learning and part of getting better at the game. So get used to this. Have some fun with it, folks. I will be back with another video shortly for another slightly more advanced version, and then we'll continue to talk about best strategies for play, and eventually we're going to put you in those defenders chairs and see what we do when we get to play in those seats as well. So thanks a lot, folks. Get on there. Don't forget, subscribe to the ACBL YouTube channel, subscribe to this channel. Way more Bridge War content coming. It's the summer of Bridge, folks. 2025. Let's play some Bridge. Let's play some Bridge War first. Let's get dancing. I'll see you at the tables, folks. Thanks so much.